everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Super Bowl dreams are on the line today in the conference championship, where only one team can move on. It's the Seahawks going up against the Saints. With that, let's get you out to the Bayou. We're standing by as our commentary team of Brandon Geiger and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Back to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Ohio! Check. Here we go! Ohio!
The slot man in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The headshots here of the offensive unit, and what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Out of the gun now on third down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Past the 20. And he is out of bounds just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it second and short.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a first and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Here we go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. Second and goal from the 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. And he's got it up and through. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They come out here in the eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on third down. They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. 70 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And this one through the uprights and good. Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll set up a throw. And he's got his man on the out route. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there. And the Saints are going to get a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And this time they go underneath for a simple pitch and catch.
And not only do you get the pitch and catch, Brandon, but you're able to keep the receiver moving when you hit him with the drag route.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints have taken the lead. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll drop to throw. And his pass incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Back to throw again. And his throw is incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
Here we go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Saints will have the football back. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offense.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. It's a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the 1st half to expand that lead.
Now, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So the offense has it 1st and 10. So the D-line's going to spread out. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this is caught at the 20. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. That's fielded in the end zone. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Here we go.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And his kick here is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Out of of the gun. They'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They'll try and throw for it here. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Saints add on to their lead. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Boy, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goalpost.
That's right.
Before you drop the ball.
That.
There you go.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Let's go! Grand 38! Flex round! Flex round!
Slot man moves right. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage. Back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more.
Let's go!
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's caught left side by Cooks. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, there really wasn't much there, but a completion is a completion. A tough 3rd down awaits them.
much ain't enough, and we won't make it out alive. She's got a rebel heart, she's had it from the start, out there on the run again. She's got a rebel heart, one day she's gonna fall. She's got a rebel heart, she's up against them I can't stop listening to this voice in my head. Got me tearing through the covers on this rusty spring bed. Bust through the doors, flames kissing my back. That's all I remember, and then everything's black. You know, sounds so familiar, someplace hot in my soul. Hello, transmission, now you're in control. I look up, I look down. Everybody's bathing in holy water, ain't enough gone around. Raise their cups, wear their crowns. You're sitting on a gold-stained altar, feel the jungle you sound. I walk in Edub-iv, I taste the blood in my mouth. My eyes blue shiny purple, and I'm riddled with doubt. It feels so peculiar, boiling hot in my soul. Farewell transmission, not meant for this world. I look up, I look down. Everybody's bathing in holy water, ain't enough gone around. Raise their cups, wear their crowns. You're sitting on a gold-stained altar, feel the jungle you sound. Tonight, drifted off to sleep. Tonight, must be having a bad dream. I look up, I look down. Everybody's bathing in holy water, ain't enough gone around. Raise their cups, wear their crowns. You're sitting on a gold-stained altar, feel the jungle you sound.
Now I've been in New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, AATLMIA-DMV, all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
New York, Texas, Midwest,